Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome all of you to the Fire Bureau's annual award ceremony. We've been holding our ceremony on the Tuesday of Fire Prevention Week for quite a few years, and this is the second time that we are here in the Uptown. Before Chief Enterline steps in to give his opening remarks, I'd like to recognize our elected officials from the federal, state, county, and local levels, our partners in police, EMS, emergency management, and local business, the Pennsylvania Fire Commissioner's Office, representatives of HAC, the local news media, the fireground photographers who always get Chief Enterline's mustache, and most importantly, to our friends and family, thank you for being here. Here's Chief Enterline.
That was quick. Good afternoon, and thank you all again for coming to our annual award ceremony. I'd like to start, as I do every year, recognizing and remembering our fallen firefighters who gave their lives here in the city of Harrisburg while protecting our great city. Firefighter Samuel J. Miller, May 13th, 1859. William C. Fisher, March 28th, 1899. Charles F. Diker, April 19th, 1901. Eli K. Hoffman, May 13th, 1908. William Benner, August 15th, 1909. Samuel Wambaugh, November 21st, 1912. William Harris, April 8th, 1914. Bernard E. Goodyear, May 7th, 1927. William Sadler, May 7th, 1927. Chief Edward Halbert, March 11th, 1935. William Metzger, June 1st, 1941. Donald E. Henry, August 22nd, 1953. Battalion Chief Clarence E. Fry, November 16th, 1977. William Corish, June 13th, 1978. And Lieutenant Dennis H. DeVoe, March 11th, 2017. We recognize from those names that this is a tough job and a job that you may not go home to your families from. Today we recognize the acts that these members perform on their daily service to the residents of not only Harrisburg but central Pennsylvania, our region and our great country. Speaking of service to our country, Harrisburg has the honor right now of having 7 members deployed under the FEMA umbrella to provide search and rescue operations in the southern part of the United States, specifically in North Carolina. We also have a member being deployed today that is en route to North Carolina with the anticipation of deploying further south to help those in the path of Hurricane Milton. Additionally, one of our members just returned and will be redeployed as a federal asset working at the Emergency Management Agency in Washington, D.C., coordinating all the USAR efforts that are going on. For those, I know we can be sure that FEMA is doing their job because he's one hell of a leader. We also have 4 members that have been called up for active duty in the military that are deployed both here and abroad, with more potentially to come. Each and every day, the citizens of the Capital Region call upon the members of the Bureau of Fire to make a difference in their lives. In 2023, we responded to 3,288 calls for service, many of which will never earn meritorious awards or public service recognitions. However, those calls mattered to Mrs. Smith that made that 911 call. In 2024, we're on track to respond to nearly 3,400 alarms. And unfortunately, this year in 2024, we lost 2 of our wonderful residents to the ravages of fire. On the evening of January 1st, Miss Brenda Cuff was tragically lost to an accidental fire that began in the bedroom where she was sleeping. And just recently, in the early morning hours of September the 12th, Ms. Shirley Smith lost her life in a row home fire where she had lived for over 20 years. While we mourn these families' losses of these 2 great women and citizens of our city, we need to use these deaths in a positive way to prevent similar tragedies from occurring in our city, in our county, and in our state. Sadly, neither of these buildings where these ladies died had working smoke alarms. Today, Pennsylvania ranks number 1 in the United States for fire fatalities, with 103 Pennsylvanians being lost to fire this year. Interestingly, California, with nearly 3 times the population of Pennsylvania, has had 100 fire fatalities. Pennsylvania, we need to do better. We need to do better locally. We need to do better as a county, and we certainly need to do better as a state. We love being number 1, but certainly not when it comes to fire fatalities. And interestingly, I teach this in my class, and we talk about it every week up at HAC. And unfortunately, Dr. Ski's not here yet to laugh about it. But every week on my class, whether it's the fire science or whether it's with the fire academy, the first thing we look at every day is the number of fire fatalities, both for firefighters and civilians. And Pennsylvania always ranks number 1 for the last 3 months. So today I call on every resident, every caring neighbor, and every family member to please check on your elderly residents. Ensure that they have working smoke alarms in their homes. The Bureau of Fire and the men and women behind you have literally installed thousands of smoke alarms over the last several years, but it still isn't enough. We still lost lives this year. Please, I urge you, if you know anyone living in an unprotected home, encourage them to call us to come out and have us install smoke alarms for free so that they have a fighting chance should a fire break out. I can assure you that Ms. Cuff and Ms. Smith never expected a fire to break out in their homes on those tragic nights. Please help us protect our friends, our neighbors, and our relatives. We need your assistance in this endeavor. As we look forward, we have the privilege of swearing in 6 new firefighters here to the Bureau of Fire, and also the promotion of 1 firefighter to lieutenant. We're grateful to have them join our ranks and our team. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the commitment that the families have to their loved ones that are taking this supreme step of humanitarianism. I'd also like to personally thank our retiring class today. 6 members of the Bureau of Fire with a combined 161 years of service and commitment to the citizens of this city and region retired this year. We thank you for your unwavering service to our great community, and we will forever be grateful for your commitment that you had for those 161 years. In closing, I want to thank all the members of the Bureau of Fire who work diligently each day for the citizens of our great city and this region who depend on us. The success of the Bureau is directly attributed to the great work that you do. To the elected officials, local, state, and federal, I'd like to express our gratitude for providing the funding and support for us to execute our duties as well as what we do. I do at this point want to call up Congressman Perry, who's been a stalwart for the Bureau of Fire. I remember as a young acting fire chief with no money, a bankrupt city, no firefighters, I called upon Congressman Perry's office for some help. They were able to get us some training money and some money, $25,000, which doesn't seem like a lot in today's dollars, for hose, to replace hose that was over 35 years old. So, Congressman Perry, appreciate you being here today.
Thank you. Mayor Williams, Chief, firefighters, police, first responder, and firefighter families, it is my honor to be with you today. President Kennedy said, "A nation is revealed by who it honors." Just like a community is, just like this organization is, today you're honoring the people that, quite honestly, people of the city probably aren't going to know by name, maybe not meet, but are going to depend on every single day. And maybe you don't think of yourselves and look at yourselves as heroes, but there's going to be a moment. There's likely going to be a moment that you have chosen to be here where you're going to have an opportunity to decide, and it's going to be difficult, right? I mean, most of us live our lives and we don't face danger every single day, but whether you're on the engine, the fire police that, people don't even recognize or half the time don't even acknowledge what they do, you're going to have an opportunity in a moment to make a difference in your community that's going to be breathtaking and astounding. And a lot of people aren't even going to know it happened. And so it's important for us to realize that we live in a great community because great people are willing to sacrifice everything. And look, it's just a reminder, we were standing here, and a couple moments ago, bell rang, call went off, truck goes out. We kind of timed it, was about 15 seconds or something like that. That's how you live your life. And I talked to one of the gentlemen back here, and I said, well, there you go. And he goes, yeah, it's just part of our life. But it's not part of our lives. It's not part of our lives. Our lives aren't in our birthday parties and our celebrations and the things that we take for granted aren't interrupted on a minutely basis to go out and help other people. And we take it for granted that other people are willing to do that. And so I just wanted to come today to say congratulations. You've got a big table full of awards here. It's important that in the scheme of everything else that is happening, we're all busy in our lives and things that are going on, that you take a moment and say thank you. We acknowledge what you've done in front of your peers so that everybody knows, and you're doing that. That is so, so important. We are blessed to have you. We are honored to be here, and we just hope that you continue on doing the great, great service and being a beacon for all of us to aspire to. Chief, Mayor, thank you very much. God bless you.
All right, thank you, Congressman Perry, and I don't see Dr. Ski in the audience, so I will turn it back over to Deputy Chief Sadazan.
Okay, let's get to it. In the late morning of October 1st, 2023, the Hill companies were dispatched to the 1800 block of State Street for a cardiac arrest. Tower 1 and Wagon 4 arrived and found an unconscious person on the sidewalk. Members acted quickly to check for a pulse, clear the person's airway, start CPR, and apply the AED. One shock was delivered prior to the arrival of EMS. Advanced life-saving measures were begun by EMS, with the Fire Bureau members assisting. The patient regained a pulse and began breathing on their own prior to being transported to the hospital. The patient was later discharged with minimal complications. For their effort, the CPR Save Award is being awarded to firefighter Shane Conrad, firefighter Jonathan Little, firefighter Michael Schock, firefighter William Kaufman, firefighter Austin Howard, and firefighter Corey Leafs. On the morning of October 11th, 2023, units were dispatched to the 2200 block of Kensington Street for a cardiac arrest. Wagon 4 arrived first and found an unconscious person in their home. Members began CPR and other basic life-saving measures until EMS arrived, which is when advanced life-saving measures were begun. Members worked for over 30 minutes to help resuscitate the patient. For their efforts, the CPR Save Award is being awarded to firefighter Thomas Probst and firefighter Justin Cahill. Neither of whom are here. In the early morning hours of January 8th, 2024, Wagon 4 was dispatched to the 900 block of North 16th Street for a cardiac arrest. Upon responding, the members were advised that EMS was already on scene and the patient started out with difficulty breathing, which deteriorated into cardiac arrest. Wagon 4 arrived and seamlessly integrated into the life-saving efforts. The patient regained a pulse prior to the ambulance transporting her to the hospital. The patient was eventually discharged from the hospital alive. For their effort, the CPR Save Award is being awarded to firefighter David Aguayo, firefighter Connor Davis, and firefighter Corey Lees. On the morning of March 11th, 2024, Squad 8 was dispatched to the Harrisburg Hilton at 1 North 2nd Street for a cardiac arrest. The squad arrived to find UPMC Pinnacle Life Team EMS and a Harrisburg police officer already performing CPR and other life-saving measures. The members quickly integrated into the effort, and after a few minutes of performing CPR and delivering shocks from an AED, the patient regained a pulse and began breathing on their own. The patient was then transported to the hospital and was eventually discharged alive. For their effort, the CPR Save Award is being awarded to firefighter Nathaniel Barbalish, firefighter Tyler Bender, and Harrisburg police officer Mark Kingsborough. Sticking with the theme of CPR saves, in the afternoon of June 3rd, 2024, Squad 8 was dispatched to the Greyhound bus terminal on Market Street downtown for a cardiac arrest. The squad arrived to find an Amtrak police officer already performing CPR and having already delivered one shock with an AED. Fire Bureau members began further life-saving measures until EMS arrived and EMS began advanced life-saving measures. The patient eventually regained a pulse and was transported to the hospital by UPMC Pinnacle Life Team EMS. The patient was later discharged from the hospital alive. For their effort, the CPR Save Award was being awarded to Lieutenant Brian Yonkin, firefighter John Wilburn, firefighter James Grundon, and Amtrak police officer Frank Jones. One more. Just after noon on June 9th, 2024, the Uptown units were dispatched to the 2000 block of Fulton Street for a cardiac arrest. Truck 2 and Wagon 3 arrived to find UPMC Pinnacle Life Team EMS already performing life-saving measures on a 19-year-old patient. Members quickly integrated into the CPR efforts. The patient regained a pulse prior to arriving at the hospital, and he was eventually discharged alive. For their effort, the CPR Save Award is being awarded to Captain Jeremy Saul, firefighter Patrick Fuller, firefighter Robert Brackbill Jr., firefighter Allison Shattuck, firefighter James Grundon, and firefighter Braden Byers. In the early morning hours of May 21st, 2024, units were dispatched to Industrial Road for a vehicle accident with entrapment. While responding, units were advised that it was to be a passenger vehicle and a tractor-trailer involved. Fire personnel arrived on scene and found the driver of the passenger vehicle trapped in the car by the dashboard being pushed down against their leg. Members began using hydraulic tools, battery tools, and hand tools to extricate the driver, as well as coordinating patient care with EMS. After 20 minutes of work, the doors were removed, the roof was removed, and the dashboard was lifted off the patient, and EMS had already begun advanced life-saving measures. The patient was transported to the hospital and treated for the following injuries: broken C3 and C4 vertebrae, all long bones broken in both arms and both legs, a dissected carotid artery, and a lacerated liver. The patient was later discharged from the hospital, alive and ambulatory. For their effort, The Distinguished Unit Citation is being awarded to Battalion Chief Jason Lloyd, Lieutenant David Schock, Lieutenant Brian Yonkin, Firefighter Brendan Booz, Firefighter Hadi Al Bay, Firefighter John Wilburn, Firefighter Richard Brocious, Firefighter James Grundon, Firefighter Austin Howard, and Firefighter Brian Rooney. In the late evening hours of November 26, 2023, Fire Bureau units were dispatched to 16th and Market Street for a building fire. Units arrived to a large vacant apartment building with smoke coming from every window. The first alarm was requested, and members began gaining entry and putting out the fire. Once the fire was extinguished and operations were transitioning to overhaul, a member fell into a hole up to his shoulders on the second floor. The member was quickly assisted out of the hole by another member who was right beside him The member was quickly assisted out of the hole and continued working for the remainder of the fire. For his quick actions in pulling the member out of the hole, the award of merit is being awarded to Progress Firefighter Jacob Perriton. In the early evening hours of July 2nd, 2024, Tower 1 was returning from a building fire in Swidera Township. While they were driving, they saw another fire truck that was at the same fire. They had stopped to assist a bicyclist. Tower 1 stopped to assist as well. The bicyclist had had an accident resulting in significant facial lacerations, and he would need to be transported to the hospital. The bicyclist was treated by members on the other fire truck and transported by EMS. Meanwhile, the members of Tower 1 took it upon themselves to load the bicycle into their fire truck and transport it to the bicyclist's home on 18th Street, ensuring that it stayed safe and secured. For their conscious effort and dedication to serving the residents of Harrisburg, the Reverend Dennis E. Snyder Customer Service Award is being awarded to Firefighter Jamie Kleckner, Firefighter Thomas Cucchiera, and Firefighter Corey Lease. All right, we're going to do some years of service. Each year, the Fire Bureau recognizes members who reach certain career milestones in 5-year increments. This year, we would like to recognize the following members. For 35 years of service, Firefighter Ronald Gallatin Jr. For 10 years of service, we would like to recognize Firefighter Justin Flanders, Firefighter Brian Riddle, Firefighter Michael Bruch, Firefighter Jamie Kleckner, Firefighter Brandon Tragar, Firefighter Benjamin Page, Firefighter John Wilburn, Firefighter Kyle Burton, and firefighter Jeremiah Hoover. Halfway there. Now it's time to recognize those members who have provided service outside the Commonwealth. The Fire Bureau has an award named the National Service and Deployment Commendation, and it is awarded to those members who respond as part of Pennsylvania Task Force 1, one of the 28 federal urban search and rescue teams. On August 7th, 2024, Pennsylvania Task Force 1 was activated and directed to deploy to the southeastern coastal region to assist with response and recovery efforts as a result of Hurricane Debby. Members assisted state and local agencies as needed, and they were demobilized 1 week later. For their effort, the National Service and Deployment Commendation is being awarded to Lieutenant William Skinner, Lieutenant Justin Zimmerman, Lieutenant Joshua Hull, Firefighter Zachary Miller, Firefighter Brian Riddle, and Firefighter Pablo Pasalacqua.
Thanks, Chief.
Might as well swing back around. On September 11th, 2024, selected resources from Pennsylvania Task Force 1 were requested to assist FEMA by staffing positions in the National Response Coordination Center in Washington, D.C., while other urban search and rescue teams were on the ground assisting state and local resources with Hurricane Francine. For his effort, the National Service and Deployment Commendation is being awarded to Lieutenant Joshua Hall.
Yeah, maybe. Let's see if I can.
In the early afternoon of April 27, 2024, the on-duty battalion chief was contacted with a request for Rescue 1 to respond to a silo collapse in Anvil Township, Lebanon County. On-duty members were organized and a rescue squad responded with Rescue 1. Upon arriving, members assisted with operations, eventually being tasked with concrete removal and then removal of the victim once they were uncovered. For their efforts, the Regional Rescue Deployment Award is being awarded to Captain Michael Feldman, Lieutenant Corey Stone, Firefighter Brandon Trigar, Firefighter Kyle Paul, Firefighter Nathaniel Barbalish, and Firefighter Justin Barnes. On the evening of July 21st, 2024, the on-duty battalion chief was contacted with a request for Rescue 1 to respond to Newcastle Township, Schuylkill County, to help rescue a person who had driven off a 200-foot cliff into a former strip mining pit. Upon their arrival, Fire Bureau members integrated into the rescue efforts by traversing down to the patient, rigging high-angle rope equipment, packaging the patient for extrication, and then searching the area to confirm there were no other patients. For their efforts, the Regional Rescue Deployment Award is being awarded to Lieutenant Matthew Kuntz, Firefighter Nathan Martin, Firefighter Michael Schock, Firefighter Allison Shattuck, Firefighter Gregory McDonald, Firefighter Samuel Welk. In that same incident, a small group of the members who responded to Schuylkill County did the traversing and the rigging and getting the patient ready and searched the other area for other patients. For their efforts in directly contributing to the safe removal of the patient, the Distinguished Unit Citation is being awarded to firefighter Michael Schock, firefighter Gregory McDonald, and firefighter Samuel Welp. Okay. In an effort to recognize those members who have served our country in the armed forces, the Fire Bureau issues all new members a ribbon resembling the American flag. This ribbon is worn on the Class A uniform, along with the other medals and commendations they earned. This year, we have 4 new members to recognize for their military service: firefighter Robert McHugh, firefighter Matthew Snyder, firefighter Kelly Lemons, and firefighter Vincent Sokovic. Their names are on them. As Chief Enterline alluded, over the past year, we've had several members who have retired, and we would like to recognize them for their dedication and service to the city. Captain Byron Warner, 34 years of service. Lieutenant Jeffrey Miller, 24 years of service. Firefighter Cedric Yates, 34 years of service. Firefighter Bill Russo, 25 years of service. Firefighter Daniel Milan, 24 years of service. And firefighter Wilbert Turner, 20 years of service.
At this time, we'll bring the Honorable Mayor Wanda R.D. Williams for a few remarks and then the swearing in of our new firefighters and fire lieutenant. Mayor Williams.
Thank you, Chief Enterline, and good afternoon to our fellow elected officials, friends, and family who are here today to honor true heroes in our midst. Over the past year, you have saved countless lives through your quick decisions, bravery, and selfishness. Whether you are receiving an award today or not, this city is grateful to you. I am grateful to you. It is because of you that we are able to keep the city of Harrisburg and neighboring communities safe. That is truly a cause for celebration. I am so proud of each and every one of you for your service and dedication, especially during this hurricane season. I'm very proud of my highly esteemed rescue team. I am particularly grateful to Chief Enterline for his leadership, as well as the leadership of Deputy Chief Souter, Sadazan, and Wise, and all your battalion chiefs. You cannot predict when a crisis happens. which is why you have these men and women ready at all times. Your training is top of the line. The City of Harrisburg Bureau of Fire is leading the way when it comes to fire safety and response, and other communities look to us when it comes to leadership. Your unwavering commitment is to be praised. Also, I would like to thank you for your community service. You have played a major part in serving our homeless population. You remind us all of the power in extending a sincere, helpful hand in more ways than you know. Lastly, to the new members taking their oaths today and joining the ranks. Over the next few minutes, you will hear stories of heroes, whether it was CPR, rescue someone in a burning house, or searching for survivors from hurricanes and explosions. These are stories of Harrisburg firefighters saving lives. This is now the expectation we have for you. When others run from burning buildings, you run towards them. And I am certain you will do so with honor. Thank you all, and may God bless you all.
Are you ready for this photo?
It's time for us to swear in our 6 newest members and 1 member who's been promoted. Please come up here in front of the screen. Firefighter Robert McHugh, Firefighter Matthew Snyder, Firefighter Zachary Bowser, Firefighter Kelly Lemons, Firefighter Vincent Sikovic, Firefighter Christopher Furlong, and Lieutenant Joshua Hull. After Mayor Williams swears them in, friends and family are welcome to pin their badges.
That I will uphold and support the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and that I will, to the best of my ability, discharge the duties of my office as a Harrisburg firefighter with fidelity. Congratulations.
Everybody have somebody to pin you? Congratulations.